Right, I suppose I am here and not altogether lacking aliveness, so there's that. Interesting circumstances. Interesting set of things, I suppose, that led me to decide that yes, today not only could I do a stream, but also should do a stream, at least for a little bit. Before terribly long, but at any rate, yes, I'm here. I'm not altogether lost to the sands of time, but by now you may have glanced at the stream metadata category thing and seen that yes, it is Grim Dog Day, a game that I believe I played for this at least once before. I remember terribly many details beyond that. I don't think I can easily look into that at this precise moment, so I think maybe again if I do this. If I do a little magic combination of words, maybe I can figure this out. Oh shit. Okay, after taking a quick look at first thing that I thought might help me figure this out, it did in fact help me figure it out, and it looks like the one and only time that I played Grim Dawn on this was in 2020, which was, don't you know, it's 6 years ago. There has been a longer span of time between then and now than there has been between then and when this game first released, but how things change, a lot of things change. Something that will change right now, if I can help it. I actually didn't test this at all, but I would like to assume that it's not going to be a big problem. But yeah, something that's about to change is that with any luck, the game will become visible. If I even have the... Actually, probably should have looked at this before. If I even have the any capture thing up, I don't think I do, based on what I'm seeing here. Okay, there's one. Let's try that one. Hopefully that is going to be one of the ones. Okay, there we go. That activates when I hit that button, and it is indeed, so let's just take a quick break off the old playlist, the old curated music selection, because today was, well, pretty much the main reason why I decided to go with, yes, we can in fact stream today, and we should in fact probably stream today, is because today we get this Fangs of Asterkarn, the third major and presumably final expansion that we get for this game 10 years after it was released. Long time in the making, and they did switch up the UI considerably, as I pretty much was able to find out firsthand, not just by being told that this is the case, but by actually basically pretty much coming back to this game for another little kind of gimmick run, cheesy build character run, which has pretty much become the main meta of this game for me. Very kind of experienced with it that I've had in considerable recency. And if you know anything about that, you might immediately spot what's going on here with this character build. But I suppose we'll just go ahead and get into it. It's one of 3 characters that I have on the, at least the Steam, I guess, ID that I have of the game. I do also have this Hungog, and I did end up playing a good chunk of it there, but until quite recently, and I mean like within the past couple of weeks, I basically never played past the certain point in the first DLC, which is Edges of Malmoth. There did come a point the first, like, once, possibly twice, but I think there was just once time that I attempted to go through that DLC in the past, where I ran into one of the optional bosses and I just could not kill it no matter what, in spite of having one of the gimmick builds, I believe. But you know it, I was already very much into it at that time, but apparently it wasn't quite efficient enough as I'd hoped, or at least I wasn't executing it efficiently enough as I could have been. But this one, it's a little bit different. It's basically centered around unkillability, and also just, instead of being too proactive with anything, it's just like do a bunch of reflex of retaliation damage. Oh, hey, we really are back, wouldn't you know it? But yeah, basically just let the enemies end themselves by trying to end you. But yeah, I did that. I finished bringing in Ashes of Malmoth, at least in like normal/veteran difficulty, because as I've ended up learning when I looked at the all the stuff that I would have to do if I wanted to like get all the achievements, for example, get all the quests and stuff. There's quite a good chunk of stuff that's not accessible until you go to Ultimate, which I probably will do, but before that I guess I'll try to max out everything on this character on this difficulty, because I think I actually haven't tried it before, like ever, but I think how it works is like pretty much everything that you have on the regular difficulty of the character gets transferred over to Ultimate when you start that. It's basically like a new run on the same character, but I don't know, I guess I'll find out. That's not what we're doing right now though. But yeah, I did go through all of Malmoth, I did go through all of Forgotten Gods, you can kind of tell. Except for the stuff that's left behind Ultimate, of course, but now I guess the main thing I'm going to be concerned with, and all the mounts that I have over here is just like the ones that I don't think you can see my cursor actually, can you? It doesn't look like it's showing up. All the mounts that I have available are the ones, yeah, capture cursor please. It's actually kind of important for this game. There we go. And the ones that are of the factions that I have not maxed out yet on this character, which been doing a bit of work on trying to do that with Devil's Crossing, because it is actually kind of a pain in the ass, because if you don't do that like when you're in the very early levels, then you just out-level everything that can help you do that smoothly. Not to have like a small couple of dungeons where stuff actually scales to your level, even if you're super high up, like me. So it's a little bit more effort to try to do that with the bounties and stuff, but it'll get done. But I really don't know if I'm ever gonna bother trying to like max out enmity with the Karnies gang enemy faction, because I don't think that's, I think that's like gonna be even more of a pain in the ass if I try to do that. For the same reason I've always said, basically, all the Karnies gang enemies that show up here are like, they stop scaling after like level 40, so that doesn't help. But Asterkarn, why don't we focus on the thing that's actually new right now? So off the fort icon we go, I suppose. I wonder if we're gonna have like another one of those animated cutscenes like we have in the base game, after whatever update that was, and then when starting Malmoth we also got one of those, but I don't think there was anything like that in Forgotten Gods, at least not to my knowledge. And I'm pretty sure this Troll in Asterkarn quest is like one of the special quests that you can only get if you like get fired off in the game to like be able to access the expansion content, but you don't have the expansion installed yet, and then you install it. That's literally the only way you're gonna get this quest, otherwise you're just gonna discover this yourself. So who is Scout Evans, I wonder? I've heard a few things about what can sort of be expected in this new Asterkarn expansion that just released, but I guess there's only one way to find out, really. Here? Oh yeah, I guess this is it.
Apologies for the interruption, but I understand you are the one responsible for scattering the cult's forces in Darkvale Gate?
That would be me. That's the end of Act 3, though. That would have been forever ago at this point, especially considering that I'm not sure exactly how it factors into it, but it does say that apparently you need both of the other 2 expansions before you can access the content in this expansion, so assuming that this is only accessible after you finish both Malmoth and Forgotten Gods, then yeah, that Dark Veil Gate would have been forever ago, that's basically Act 3, but yes, that would be me. Hello.
My apologies. I know the esteemed Inquisitor has you assigned to priority matters, but it would seem that when disaster strikes, it rears many heads.
Oh yeah, which head is this? What's the situation?
Just a few days ago, I and the rest of my troop were dispatched to the northwest on what should have been a routine scouting mission. And for me, it largely was. A few beast sightings, but nothing of concern. However, my companions never returned from their routes. The frozen reaches of Asterkarn are home to all manner of creatures, but I suspect it is not them we are contending with. Asterkarn is also home to the Karn, our ancient enemies. I have little doubt that they are behind these disappearances. The Inquisitor cannot spare additional troops, but a lone agent of your caliber may succeed. I beg you, venture northwest from Fort Icon and into the frigid north of the Frostvale Highlands. Learn the fate of our missing brothers and sisters.
Begins the Fangs of Asterkarn expansion content where I guess we have to be off to Asterkarn to hunt the Asterkarn. Who are the Karn?
They are savages, bloodthirsty and ruthless people who worship heathen gods. In another age, they were dealt a crushing defeat by the Erelon Empire, and had not dared to cross into our land since. Fort Icon stands as a testament to this ancient conflict, and marks the border between Erelon and the frozen wastes. Even though the bulk of our forces is committed to pushing back the Ethereals and Chthonians, Inquisitor Creed has wisely insisted that we ensure the Karn do not try anything while our backs are turned. It would be like those honorless brutes to attack when we are contending with the enemies of mankind.
Oh, we do know what happened to the last 20 groups of godless heathens or whatever. Or rather, not quite aligned with whatever it is that we believe in and exploit. But yeah, all those people. I guess we'll show that soon enough, but I have to finish and repeat the other. Yeah.
I and the rest of my troop were dispatched to the
Okay, I will find the amazing scouts. Hold your horses. Do you have anything more to say?
In your search,
Well, gee, I don't know. I haven't taken a step yet, but
you must take the northwest gate out of Fort Icon. It should be unlocked to you.
say so. It happened just a moment ago.
To the Frostvale Highlands and look for any clues as to the whereabouts of our scouts. I suspect the Karn are involved. If my hunch is correct, you should be on your guard.
Okay, is this gonna be the same as he said before?
Savages, bloodthirsty,
Yeah, pretty
ruthless
much.
people who
Alright, cool.
Any luck in your search? If there is any hope of finding them alive, then there is no time to spare.
Alright, I don't know how much we're gonna find out in this spooky new place, but sure we'll try our best. I don't even remember if this gate existed. I would assume that it didn't. Well, the expansion got properly initialized, but oh boy, time for my favorite part of the game, which is filling out every corner of the map. It's like in Metroid Dread. I don't know why that's the first example that comes to mind. It's been quite a while since I played that, but these... Okay, no, these are not my friends. How do we get to, well, we can see the good old engine limitations of this quite old Titan Quest Ride remaster engine, where it just kind of seizes up sometimes, but that's okay. Let's get a quick sample of what it looks like when these fellas just stride right up to me and spell their own demise by doing so, unwittingly. Oh boy, there's gonna be lots of new lore notes, I expect. There's a lot more lore text, I thought, in Forgotten Gods relative to Malmoth. I do wonder how this is going to measure up, because I heard that at least as far as the exploration, the new maps is going to be quite large. Like, I don't remember if, like, exactly what I saw regarding that, but it may have been something along the lines of it's kind of like nearly double the amount of terrain that you have to explore relative to the base game. Which would not be too surprising considering how long this has been in the making, but we are in the Frostvale Islands, which I will diligently explore every corner of, like I said. Within Metroid Red, which is something that I played quite a while ago. Pretty much when it was new and not really since. But it did have that thing where you have to like individually uncover chunks of the map. Walking along the entire thing. I guess I did have a bit of a method with this when I was probably going through Malmeth and Forgotten Gods before this. Just whack these pigs. Snow pigs. I mean, I know that there's those, like, very woolly pigs. Or at least woolly looking. I don't know exactly what their deal is. I really don't remember what they're called, but it's not coming to me right now. So loud noises, but plumbers that are coming from both the game and potentially the outside as well. Hopefully each of these is of such potency that you cannot easily tell them apart. It helps maintain the immersion. But yeah, my method for like exploring the rather sprawling, especially in Malmeth, I think, maps is basically just hog one of the walls, map out the perimeter first to kind of get a better idea of exactly what everything looks like. And then once we've like gotten far enough to like find any rift gates or something to that effect, then yeah, we can step back. It's pretty. We'll step back and just try to fill in everything that's in the middle. That's now just kind of doing whatever. I would presume. Actually, I'm gonna take a quick look at my devotion thing. It says still 48 of 55. But I would like to assume that maybe, just maybe, there's gonna be like a few extra devotion shrines that you can unlock as part of this new expansion, because that's how it worked with the other two major expansions, you know. There's also Crucible, that's why it's a major expansion, because there's Crucible, which is like bonus modes pretty much, which I haven't tried yet, but I suppose I'm gonna have to at some point, because there's some Chivos and stuff that are locked behind that as well. But it doesn't really add anything new as far as maps or anything, lore, story, anything of the sort. I get the feeling we're gonna have to go that way, so let's take, well, I mean, I think we're already, like, on the path that we're meant to follow. So we go forward. I could take a step back and fill out more of this part of the map, but let's try to go a little bit further for now. I hope I'm not, like, sidestepping anything that I would regret at this time. I suppose this time we'll stick to the western part, see if we can. How about the western edge? Shadowhorn Celestial. That's a bit of an odd word to put in there as a modifier, considering that I'm pretty sure that in this game Celestials are like a very specific brand of high tier bosses, of which there's only a handful. I don't know if we imply that yes, that boar was just one of them, in a manner of speaking, but always a possibility it's there for you to ruminate about. No pun intended. I don't even think boars are ruminants, but what I've already joked by. A Storen Lodge, okay then. Or immediately just makes you think beer. For reasons that should be obvious. Oh boy, what are them totems up here? Hold on. I think I'm not really gonna be able to procure any level ups during this stream, but I'm hoping that's the case because I'm not entirely sure what it would level up as far as the skills. Oh yeah, these lore notes. Maybe I'll read them at some point, I don't know. Oh, okay. Right now, though, I am holding on to any pieces of blue equipment that are like part of a set, because I have not tried it yet, but I guess it seems that transmutation is like your best bet if you want to look for, you know, pieces of a specific set that you can't just like easily find by looking in specific places. And you also don't want to like go online and the whole trading shebang thing, which I have no idea how it works. Like, even just the go online part in this game, I have not tried it ever. It's just been a cozy SP, strictly speaking, experience for me during my entire time with it. I suppose I have done that with Titan Quest at least. I feel like the most complicated thing in the world. When did we do the Titan Quest thing? That was a while ago. I don't think it was that much of a while ago though. Some of the other stuff that has been done on this stream cooperatively. Maybe that'll happen again someday. Perhaps that old lore is not yet dead. Not for now. Suppose I am content to continue to chop my way through these pigs. I don't even know if those guys are all pigs, strictly speaking. I feel like... Actually, I thought I saw the word war in some of them. Some of their names, but looking a bit more closely now, I think that says Bristleborn, not Bristleboar. So I have to wonder if they are in fact porcine at all, or if I'm just making that up. Or if I was looking at a different creature and I already forgot. Which is definitely a possibility. Well, we've been trekking through the Frostvale Highlands. We made it to a cave, I think. Look. These human remains apart to see if I can rudely get anything out of them, but I guess that's not the case. I have not found any of the missing scouts yet, nor have I found any of the additional rift gates, which will presumably come into play at some point or another. As they usually do, by the way. Not be okay, there we go. I was wondering. I was gonna say I have not looked at any of the any farther expanded map sections, but there's nothing over here. I'm pretty sure this whole they just made it, they stretched it to the left side so that I could fit this stuff up here because there's nothing else down here. But now we have this whole new section that this is my first time looking at it. Frostvale Highlands, oh boy. Asterkarn Mountains. Right now we're in Ice Howl Cavern. I might have somehow missed one of the like the first rift gate that I was supposed to find. It kind of looks like it's in the middle of this before we go inside the mountains, I guess, which I really might miss where I am right now, but I guess if I keep going, I'll maybe come out, hear about, find one of them, and then... Actually can't read that very well. Frevel Valley? Rivoli Valley? Kernhold? Oh boy. Boulder River, Guardian Sorrow. Ulos Springs? Something Crags, Cruise Crags, Brangal Fortress. That seems to be like a corner. Oh boy. Roof of the World. Might be like where we end up for the final boss of this. Something best in ruins of Utakunar. Oh boy. Dread Wastes, Aurora Peaks, Sear Stone Pilgrims, Burning Depths, Black Citadel. I wonder what the deal is with this area. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure I'll find out. I think I'm gonna be pretty much just gonna keep it as clean enough. I think the same kind of thing that I did with when I streamed this game the first time. Nice hell, goodness me. Which was pretty much meant to just be like a little demonstration, like just for the hell of it. Let's do Act 1 on one stream, even though it was like completely kind of overestimated how familiar I was with the intricacies of the game at that particular time. I just got an achievement for that. Killing this Wolfie. You know, Political Vanguard Legion. Okay, special about this, so this is. I just put this over here. Over here to get sold. Actually, I should put this over here. I put this stuff over here that has, you know, it's part of a set, and that's not like super low level. Which I just have to double confirm, and then here's part of the set that I want to assemble eventually that I actually have found, which is Mythical Dogger. I think there's 5 pieces, but I only need 4. I don't even know what the 5th one is called. It says Champion of the Light. That's one that I don't really want for this build, but I used to have stuff here. Pretty sure that over here just have this stuff as like big purple items that are just quest items, but they just take up a lot of space for some reason. Just toss them to the end there. Which we might come across at least one of those during this exploration, but for now. I can remind that this is a pretty small cavern. It's not like a way forward, it's just like come here to kill the wolf, I guess. And we succeeded in that, so pop out into the snowy wastes and maybe look somewhere else. Maybe we'll find that first rift after all. Maybe we'll find out our favorite dog breed is. There's a dead end down here. I don't think it is. I'm gonna take a closer look at that. I can just, like, you know, be done with mapping out that bit of the map right now, and I just want to go for it. What is this humanoid feature of sustainable intelligence? And what are the dull-minded beings like the Grobles? Well, perhaps comparable, but at least with some degree of sentience, perhaps. Okay, yeah, this is in fact there, and it looks like. So, our night ladder, I walked down that little path. I get the feeling that we're supposed to keep going in that direction, like going northeast. That is the intended path at this time. I'd like to see if we can, like, at least complete a couple of the quests. Right, there is the... I'm guessing that was the first Frostvale Highlands, yeah, rift that we saw. Current bonfire is the purple land, but it's in the Highlands. I see a second one, though, so I guess we can... It's gonna be a little bit longer. What do we have here? Thane's Solve Hinterland, Red of the Blood Ragers, and Leaf Narktooth. Lowlander, a Kern, or at least a Kern. Oh boy, can immediately start beef with them. Our kind, it was your people that turned the snow red with the blood of our children and elders, and now here you are in Kern lands, an enemy from the past. It was we who are wary of you, Lowlander. Alright then. I mean, I'm missing all the context here, really, but...
Please, just leave us alone.
The long little pup, this far is not for you. And, well, what about you, Thane's Solve?
Not begrudge a traveler a place by the fire in these winds, as Amatok teaches us.
But I have to ask, why did I not voice the other line in my one thing of dialogue? Also, why are you here, Lowlander? Right. Well, after a missing scouting party, but also you're a Karn. Well, let's begin with the less combative option. You're likely as good as dead. Frostvale's a treacherous land in the best of times, but now following in their footsteps from wise if you're unprepared, then maybe we can help each other out. Oh, really? What do you have in mind? An elder bristlehorn we call Urugu roams just north of here. The hulking animal is well past his prime. If he wishes to relinquish his status as the alpha of the herd, preventing younger males from asserting dominance, help restore balance by hunting him down and bring his meat back here. We'll ensure no part of him goes to waste, and once we've all feasted, maybe we can offer you something to aid your journey. Alrighty then. I mean, north of here, I guess if they didn't mean the cave. Because if they did, I completely...
These lands are not for the likes of you.
Thank you for that. Not a tracker, I see, that is fine. Ruger's herd is due north, not far from camp. Look for the large white-maned bull. I guess we can go north based on what we can see of the little minimap here. Well past his prime, so I hope he won't cause you too much trouble. Alright. Usually how it works is if you get a quest that's like, go hunt this big scary creature, and you've already done that, then you can just say immediately, I already did it. So, you know, make with the loot. But okay, it doesn't look like that way goes north, so we'll take a little detour here. Let's see how far north, just north of the campfire thing actually means. You know, as necessary is to have this build where the whole kind of gimmick of it is that it's trying to make you as OP unkillable as possible as far as survivability, and it's like, at least, you know, prior to the release of this, presumably that's going to change, but I don't even know. If, like, the Asterkarn content is going to significantly change the meta, it might. There's been a few things advertised that seem like it would be a big deal. I'm sure we'll get to know, but before taking that into consideration, at any rate, this is like the #1 rated build for like hardcore viability. Where in this context, hardcore is basically Iron Man, where you make a character, and if that character dies one time, you can never use it again unless you cheat. But that is each one's prerogative, is it not? But yeah. I mean, I've certainly died a few times with this character. This is not a hardcore character, but I suppose I'm also not, like, acquainted with the most efficient way to go about certain progression things. To best avoid that, because it does seem like there's some content in the game that you just basically shouldn't bother trying it at all, even with this build. Until you, like, super late game and can have every part of it optimized as far as the equipment and the skills that you're supposed to build up. Like, for instance, the boss of the challenge dungeon from the Malmoth expansion. Big fiery land construct that thing can just like spam the fuck out of you. It's like little fire hoses that don't even give him retaliation damage, so it's just like cheaping you out by wearing you down really quickly and like not even getting counter owned for it. Oh, this is the thing we're supposed to kill, is it? Yep. Ooh, baby, thunder. I'm gonna pop my regeneration thing. I don't know that the regeneration thing happened on keybind 5 right now, like actually, oh shit, like, speak of the devil. Let's take a little step back and start getting like fucking meteor spam. That can be pretty spooky. Little apothecary sign is part of a set, it looks like yes. The order. We're gonna keep that not here, but here. Just where I keep this stuff right here, yes, okay. And choice flank. Hey, wouldn't you know it's one of these big, necessarily large quest items. Cut of meat from the elder Bristolhorn Ruru. Planted to feed several hungry mouths by the warmth of the bonfire. Right, let's hop back down there and tell those dudes, but only after I explore a little bit more of this map. Oh, goodness gracious, alright. You know, I do have a Pepperidge Farm Remembers moment, or I would say I do remember the earlier builds in the game where the beast, like enemy faction, didn't exist. So like wild animals didn't have their own faction pretty much, but even after that got added in, I don't think that any of the factions that you can be friendly with are like a hard counter to the beast faction, or at least explicited as enemies to the beast faction, to the point where it's like if you slay beast heroes, we'll get friendly points with this other faction. It was Soul Flare. Where did I pick this up to sell? That's why I keep the rest of this blue stuff, because I don't really, not really in need of money, as you can tell. I got like 2.6 million at this time. Pick up this lore notes. I could be reading those lore notes, you know, just right-clicking the lore notes after picking them up. Put them in your little compendium. It gives you a little bonus experience. But I also want to read them. And that would kind of take a minute. So this is kind of not yet the ideal time for that, I should think. Perhaps when I decided, I don't know, if the questing for tonight, I will just go through all the lore notes to kind of wind things down. Maybe reflect a little bit. Fallen Warrior Undead. I haven't even been paying attention to these fellas. Fallen Warriors. Are these like also the Kern, I guess? I suppose vaguely Inuit analogous culture that's up here. Group. I did kind of get that impression based on our first interaction with that group of fellows over by the bonfire. Right, I guess that's that for that part of the map. So now, yeah, we can just trek back over there. It will take a moment. Well, maybe a couple of moments at the most. It's gonna be faster this way. We go under that bridge. Take the underpass. And we're here. Hey, guess what I did?
These lands are not for the likes of you.
Is there any way to talk to someone who brings meat? I'll gotta give him a moment to respond. Unfortunately, this is like... This is a great game, but this is like the single biggest kind of hang up with it, that it there's still quite a few of those frame drops, and it's just kind of inherent to the engine, so I can't really do that much about it. But well, hey, we're friendly with the Kern now. Okay, I'm not sure if I was expecting this, but I did not think you would actually take me up on the challenge, good on you, Lowlander. We'll get this meat over the fire. Hearty meal to share on a frigid day. You have shown your intentions to be true, so I will be true in mine. These ointments will shield you from the wind's bites, may come in handy on the journey ahead. Wish you fortune, Lowlander, may your brethren still draw breath when you find them, but if you wish to take a moment by your fire and rest, you're more than welcome, so, I mean, have you seen them? I admit I was not forthright with you at first. We did spot your party traveling north, right then. They were ill prepared. For the weather and the beasts that await up there, your commander seems to know little of these lands, although they are desperate. I do not lie. If they have not returned this way, then they are likely dead, but I do hope you at least find the remains. Alright, that didn't really change much other than that. No, we saw them, but, oh well. They're still to go trudging off into their own thing. But we're currently tolerated by the Kern. We're headquartered in Asterkarn, which I didn't see the headquarters thing even, because it just seems kind of redundant, but proud denizens of Asterkarn have a long and tumultuous history riddled with strife and bloody wars. None was greater than their lengthy conflict with the Airlands to the east, which makes any current relations strained at best. The remaining Kern must contend with the ramifications of their past and dark choices that were made to ensure their people survived. The Kern are rightfully suspicious of outsiders, but even their most stalwart defenders will acknowledge the grave threat that festers within the heart of Asterkarn. And apparently, they don't like the Bloodbound. I mean, what are the Bloodbound? Aren't they just like the Chthonians? I would have thought the Chthonian cultists, they're like the blood something anyway. I thought, but maybe it's gonna be like a special offshoot of the Chthonians, kind of like in Malmuth you have the Ethereal Vanguard that's kind of separate from the Ethereals. Oh, well. So what do you have to say to me now? Alright, not bad, we'll understand. Well, warm yourself by the fire. Well, I don't think I can actually eat anything. I can't, like, restore my my constitution, which I can barely even see, because, you know, I suppose it might not be obvious if you're not familiar with the game, but they did switch up the UI with this update. It looks more like Diablo now with the orbs for health and mana, but it used to be like actually just horizontal bars, I think. Yeah, I think just health on the left and magic on the right. Just kind of inlaid into the whole bar down here, and you know, you got the mouse buttons, which are just like in the middle now. I guess the main thing about this new UI is that it's just kind of compressed so that this thing only covers the middle of the lower part of the screen, and I think the previous one pretty much just covered the whole thing. Maybe I can show it, because I'm pretty sure that immediately after you load this the first time, which I did earlier technically, it does tell you you can bring back the old look of the HUD. Yeah, can we just do that? Oh goodness. Okay, yes we can. Okay, no, so it's not that different, but I think this might actually be a little different now, actually, compared to how it was before. Like, even if you have the old layout, yeah, there are a few things that look different about it, like the potion thing, which, you know, I remember too when these tonics, these potions to restore health and mana, you actually had to collect them and hoard them, but they eventually realized, you know, this is kind of pointless, it's kind of whatever. But they basically just give you an infinite amount, but they just have to recharge. Which I think was actually a fairly recent addition, at least as far as the recency with which I played this with any kind of consistency. But I think we'll go back to the other layout. Why not? Not sure what this was gonna do when the screen went dark like that, but at least it didn't reload me to any distant points. But let's see. Traveler. So maybe Aurelians aren't all sulks and feasts. Right, do you have anything different to say now?
Not for the likes of you.
No, he's still hostile to me with his voice. His lines are not for the likes of you, even though you got a clean kill. One our young could achieve, but nevertheless impressive for a lowlander. Well, maybe he will give you some meat. I'll guess you can actually eat here and presumably replenish your constitution, which I don't know that that's gonna factor into anything, because honestly, part of the gimmick this cheese build is that any damage that you do take, like, you heal super fast, so you basically heal too fast for the constitution healing to even kick in. Which is kind of funny, because that's like also one of the main kind of unique mechanics of this game. Or that constitution that you restore, it's basically like the yellowy filter that's on top of the health bar. Restore it by like eating food or by like absorbing life essence from bosses that you've killed. And basically, if you have like a decent chunk of health missing, and you haven't gotten hurt in a while, it basically rapidly heals you while going down itself. I don't think we're gonna see that in action. Okay. Hey, Frostrock, I have like a moment to try to figure out what the deal is with this tree. Fulminated tree. Snarled tree has been shattered by a lightning strike. Okay. Guess we better make a note of the fact that it's here, because it seems kind of curious that we can interact with it and get that whole thing. It's probably gonna be part of a quest somehow. They do tell us that just to tell us that. Hey, Matriarch Frostrock, come on. Back off. Don't toss your little projectiles at me. I take offense to that. Oh boy. Asterkarn pretty much okay, that's the same kind of thing that I already bought one of. I wonder if there's gonna be any lore about these Asterkarn behemoths. Or if it's gonna be another one of the kind of beast humanoid creatures. How about this purple one? Rock Arcane, although not its actual designation, but just its actual coloration. Did we just pick up another quest item from that thing? Sure did. It's Aspect of Baronath. Actually, is it a quest item? No, I think that's like a material. It's one of the new ones, which I believe I saw something in the UI actually earlier that may have spoiled me a little bit as to some of these things that are going to be here, like Bloodbound Totem. That's one thing. Aspect of Baronath, that's another. Great Beast, Progenitor of Monsters and Demigod of the Kern. And another one of the lore notes. I don't know when we're gonna get to read. It'll probably come there. I think I just accidentally tapped the friggin' the comma button, because you might expect M is the map button. And period and comma are right next to that, but what period and comma do is like actually rotate the camera a little bit, which I don't like. I think it is fine to just kind of always keep it in the default position. That is what works for me. But sometimes I overshoot and I end up hitting one of those buttons. It's kind of an annoyance to put it back in order. This guy's not dead. Okay, so these things, they can like do a friggin' Dragoon jump from Final Fantasy and just go somewhere else for a while, and while they're away they can't take damage, I suppose. Maybe if they get like poisoned or something to do with the OT. Maybe they can die while they're jumping, but I suppose I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know if I really have anything that can readily confirm that, other than just I don't know if anything that I have is strictly DOT as far as stuff that's gonna keep affecting the enemy, even after I am not standing right next to it. Okay, is this gonna connect back to... Yes, it is. Okay, let's bomb over here. But we can keep going in this direction, which I don't know if I was expecting. I suppose we are exploring a little more thoroughly now. Suppose we can pop over here a little bit. Yeah, I don't really know, like, which way is the way forward necessarily right now. But that's why we explore. We'll find all of this out sooner or later. How about one of these beaver forts? I keep wanting to say that one thing that's usually kind of consistent when it comes to different parts of this game, I guess. We got a couple of beaver bosses over here. Well, at least for this expansion and the Forgotten Gods expansion, which is like Egyptian themed, something that I noticed with those two kind of fittingly, oddly enough, I suppose you might say. Sufficiently fitting. Oh, this is what we got. We got the Warfrost alignment. So I don't even have to make the Warfrost Reaches joke that I was thinking about here and there from, you know, freaking Monster Hunter World Iceborne. It's the Ice expansion. Yeah, what was I saying just a moment ago? Did I already lose my train of thought? I think I did, yeah. No, what I was saying was that between this expansion, which is like obviously very snowy, icy themed, and the Egyptian desert theme expansion of Forgotten Gods, which came before this one, like every so often I keep wanting to say, hey, it sure is like Age of Mythology in it, basically. Same kind of aesthetic. Whether it's from the Egyptian part of the Age of Mythology campaign, or I guess we really are about as much of this as we can, or the Norse part of the Age of Mythology campaign. Between the quite fittingly resonant environments and aesthetics and the, you know, all the beasties that we come across. Does seem like a very apropos comparison, where I'm concerned. Even though I'm pretty sure the, you know, the rocks in Age of Mythology are generally associated with, you know, with the Egyptians and not with the Norse. Well, that's nothing we can overlook. Generally, I'm not even sure, like, strictly speaking, with the, what the cultural keystone would be for where the rocks actually come from a Doylist perspective. Which is something that I say because I want to sound fancy and not just say real-world perspective, even though that's easier to understand. Oh, hey, there's someone here. Who could this be? Alien and Wayfinder knocking... These aren't the people we're looking for, are they?
Don't start any trouble, Lowlander.
My blood already nourishes the soil. Okay, so that's not what he was saying at all, okay. Don't waste any time on me, but also don't start any trouble. I'm gonna die, but also you watch yourself here. Okay, so what's your deal?
Watch yourself out there, Lowlander.
Alright, so neither of them are associated with the ones I'm looking for, presumably. You're here to kill us, I will make it easy. Oh boy. Looking for a missing scouting party, but also your partner looks like he's in rough shape. Oh boy, knocking. All it took was a momentary lapse in awareness. A Bristlehorn, mad with pain or bloodlust, charged out of the brush and gored him. I admit it's not looking good. Malkin will require medical aid, but he cannot be moved without first performing triage, and I can't leave him, or scavengers will finish what the Bristlehorn started. What scavengers, like the dudes we've been fighting that are undead? Will that summon the undead? I thought they were with you. Maybe not. Oh well. No doubt the other hunters will find us, but Nokken may not have that long. I will not mince words. Fates do not care about our pride. Will help us? Well, what could I do for him? There's an old remedy among our people that involves wrapping the wound in molted rock feathers. Oh boy. The cold emanating from the plumage or plumage is enough to stifle fever and stem blood loss. There are many rock nests on the western cliffs of the Frostvale Highlands, some even within hand's reach. No doubt the birds have molted there. And before you ask, it can't be fresh feathers from the live ones, not unless we want to freeze Knockin's legs clean off. Okay, I was going to say something about that, but I'm glad they addressed it. Knockin is tough as the mountains, but even he can't hold out forever if you're able to eat us in this hurry. Well, sure, I'll go get your feathers, your aged feathers, won't you know it?
Yourself out there, lowlander.
And we can't ask about the other party anymore. Oh well, rip. Where are the rock nests again? Western cliffs of the Frostvale Highlands. Only the molted feathers will work serenely. Alright, well. By western cliffs, do we mean west of here or west of this entire map? Because this is definitely not the farthest west we can go. Oh boy. If we need to go a little bit farther west, then I don't know how easy it's gonna be for us right now. Dragoon Rock. If you excuse me saying so, I think that might be a somewhat more apt name for these creatures. Oh hey, there's another rift over here. The rift is swarming with ethereals now, not this time. I mean, this path looks like it goes, west, so I suppose we'll keep looking in this direction. Oh, that's just a tag elk. They're gonna attack me. I suppose I can pay it in kind. I can just leave him alone until he decides to charge me, at which point I'm gonna be... Oh, okay, never mind. Apparently my flying harrow that's flying around me, and also my whirlwind buddies decided that we're gonna take matters into their own hands. Yeah, sorry, elk, but I needed to, walk over there so I can unlock as much of the map as possible. That's just the way it is. I would say that's something that I like. I'm not sure if anything will gotten quite to the point of the point of the base game soundtrack as far as familiarity and enjoyability, but we'll say that even if the soundtracks of both the base games, well, the base game and the expansions, even if they're not super bombastic at the best of times, they do fit the mood of this game very well. And from what I've been able to hear of, this expansion so far, I think that also applies to this. And hey, it's a rock's nest. Hold on a moment, let me take a cursory look around it first, see if there's anything we need to clear out, this little cadre of beasties that just are hanging out right near that nest. I get the feeling that we might get another, big bird after we actually try to take from the nest, but we'll find out in just a moment, because I'm gonna do it after I check out what's beneath this rock. Alright. Never mind. Molted rock feather. Oh wait, that's just one. Well, molted feather still glistens with a hint of its true power. Well, I don't think it matters. I can just leave it here in this little grid in the corner for the time being. Guess we're gonna have to search the same area for more of those nests, which sure I can definitely spare the time for that. At least a little while. Oh shit. She's next, I got everyone. was following me, who I had run into in that little encounter, but I suppose that shows what I know. Oh. I spy another lore note and possibly another game winner, let's see. Another place where some other people to talk to might be gathered, but I suppose that's not the case right now. It's a place to loot, at the very least. Alright, let's see. Oh, Savage Totem, I don't mind what I do. Murdering starred enemies, I don't mind if I do. I'll kill as many of those as possible anyway, because I am also aiming for the achievement where, like, you get it after you kill the highest possible number that they track for the achievements of boss enemy to the stunner. I don't think they count as unique enemies, but you know. Pretty much our boss enemies. I think you need to kill like 3,000 of them to unlock the achievement, which I've gotten the one for killing 1,000, I think, so far on this character, so it can't be that far off, surely. Especially considering how at this point in the game I think you can just kill a lot of those star enemies with great ease, really, especially if you are taking a trek back to the... Oh, okay, that stacks. I think that's first, actually. These usually stack. Let's see what I can move these over here. I forgot I had anything like that, honestly. There a hidden path? There sure is a hidden path here. What do you know? What do we got here? Hidden remains. Storm launcher of Ultos. Which doesn't have anything too special about it, and I don't use guns in this build, so whatever. Which is actually kind of ironic because, you know, when I played this game, like, very casually, when I first was getting into it years ago. And before I got into, like, any of the super specialized builds, which is, like, currently my meta for basically getting as much fun factor as possible whenever I come back to this game at this point. Before I got into that, my weapon of choice was definitely guns, like all the time, two-handed guns. Kind of like in when I played Diablo 2, which I should probably replay that sometime. Similar reasons as I like this game so much, but one time where I played Diablo 2, which was on stream, I did favor the, I think it was the assassin class, which may have been Lord Destruction exclusive, but it was a class where you can unlock a skill where you can just kind of stand back and throw a ton of shurikens at your enemies. Right, 3 rock feathers acquired. What if I can get more? I can, like, you know, just for shits and giggles, leave one of these useless quest items that are only for this one quest. I'll leave one of them in my stash to just kind of take up space and I suppose remind me of more carefree times. Just do that for the hell of it. And just show that, hey look, I have a completely unique item here. Hey, who knows, it might be useful for something, even though that would actually be really shitty if only people like me who hoard useless stuff were able to take advantage of that in the future, because, you know, it's impossible to get any more of those items unless you restart the whole game, basically. And get through that quest again. I don't know, there's just something, there will always be something kind of appealing, I think, about holding on to certain items that are useless, utterly useless, but also just kind of aesthetically unique and aesthetically competent. Okay, we could keep going in that direction. I get the feeling that eventually we will have to keep going in that direction, but first, let me see if I can figure out how to get back over to where it goes to where I think it's all the way over here, so it's kind of a trek, but we'll manage, I'm sure. We could follow the river, I guess we could ford the river to assistingly. Oh. Just beat the shit out of this beaver den. This spawn point. This yurt. Not really a yurt, I don't think, but what else would you call that? A cone? In a manner of speaking? I don't know. What would you call that shape? I suppose there's a discussion to be had there. I don't think you want to. Oh, wait, what? A rampaging beast can be heard up ahead. Oh, really? Garby the Lost? The Asterkarn incident, oh boy. The Asterkarn incident. Well, here's Garby or the Lost. Okay, that's something that I hadn't quite seen that yet, but yeah. We can take care of him. I might even get an achievement for doing so. I guess we'll find out in just a moment. Trying to beat the crap out of me, but it's only doing it to himself, you see. I am rubber, you're glue. Oh, and here's some dropped frames, but that's okay. I have faith at this point that it's not gonna crash. Okay. So many times. I don't think I really had any crashes, except like maybe one time when I was like trying to fuck with the follow a little bit of advice, quote unquote, to fuck with the like CPU affinity to see if I could get rid of the stutters, but it doesn't really work, unfortunately. At least not in my experience. Let's we kill that fella. Probably someone else is gonna. Oh, wait a minute. Is that part of the Asterkarn incident scouts? Oh, wait a minute, they're here, aren't they? Okay, never mind. It's a good thing that we came here. Because we found the scouts. And we're gonna have to go back to the Rift Gate in just a moment, but let me, yeah, I don't think we're gonna map out this whole thing right now. Let's just keep it moving along. Let's murder this group of animals, and then we'll see exactly how to proceed. Okay. Let's talk to these fellas and see what they have to say. So who are they? We got Ulfgarn, son of Garn, Scout Barrowman, and Scout Pharaoh. Okay, so Barrowman is his name. I thought that could be like his profession or something. But no, he's John Barrowman. We did it. We finally did it. Damn you all to hell. No, I don't think that's quite the same thing. So how come, what does this guy have to say? Who is he?
The danger has passed. You should tend to your people.
Okay, who are you?
I am called Ulfgarn, son of Garn. I am keeper of these lands.
Why did you help our scouts? I mean, help them stay hidden from that thing, I guess. You didn't really take down that thing.
It is my sworn duty to keep outsiders from reaching the valley. But that duty does not remit offering aid to the helpless. Amatok teaches us to extend a hand to travelers in need. Your scouts were under-equipped and fending off a raging beast marked by the rot. They were doomed if not for my intervention, and we are not at war. If we were enemies under the messenger's light, rest assured that I would have stood on the side of the beast, then dealt with it in turn.
Well, it's good to know. And I appreciate that you're honest, at least. Do you just say the same thing if I do it to you again?
I am called Ulfgarn.
Alright, but I guess we'll actually get their words now. By Mynheer's mercy, I don't think we would have made it if you had not shown up. Well, this Karn came out of nowhere and distracted the beast. Well, we crawled to safety, but it was only a matter of time before it found us again. I do not think them capable of such honor. The legacy is still pretty messed up. How will we get back to Fort Icon? Well, my rift will take your safety when you know it just immediately. Hey, what did you just do?
Wield strange magics, Lowlander. But that was an impressive feat. I'd have thought your death screams would echo in the peaks, but here you are, victorious.
It is not my first time contending with the void, so we assume that these, evil beasts that exist here are also chthonic, or what's her deal?
The taint of he who dwells below creation reaches farther with every passing moon. Not even the beasts of Asterkarn are spared his putrid touch. It does not surprise me that his foul tendrils have infected your lands as well.
Okay, so I guess we are assuming it's chthon. I don't know. Do people know what caused this?
My people, the Kern, have long contended with the darkness, but I am no skald and will not speak of such matters directly. I admit, I believed all Irulians soft, but you have shown yourself to be a warrior of some talent. May I not live to regret this, but with all that is at stake, perhaps this calls for a meeting of our people. If you wish to learn more of the rot that chokes life from our land, you will need to head to Kernhold. Though, getting called to speak may prove difficult.
Alright. Guess Kernhold is not gonna be as spooky as we thought it might be when we first saw it on the big map. Frozen Aster. May I ask some questions? I guess we're gonna have to talk to the,
Scouts had many questions too, as their lives hung on by a thread. What is it?
Alright, who are you? Okay, so, if you ever do get to the point where the rest of these little dialogue tree branches are not voiced, but that's okay. I am Ulfgarn, son of Garn, keeper of Frostvale, who ensures the unworthy never stumble upon the path to our homeland. Spend my life breath trying to live up to my forefathers' legacies. What did your forefather do? My ancestor Garnbreaker, some say he broke the hold of the great annihilator on our people. Others say he broke the Kern tribes asunder and put us at the mercy of Erland. Perhaps both are true. In his time, the Kern clans united to push back the Erland invaders. The Kern hordes were unstoppable at first. But Erland eventually learned to counter our fighting style. It became a grueling war for both sides, and the Kern began to lose ground. In a last desperate bid to destroy Erland, the Martok clan turned to forbidden summoning rituals most thought lost since the darkest times of long-buried ancestors. They unleashed an army of shadow spawn that threatened to consume all. Seeing the wrong in this, Garn chose to turn his forces upon the Martok summoners, even if it meant the eventual defeat of the Kern. Perhaps his actions led to the sorry state you see the Kern in today, but if the Martok had succeeded, it could have meant the end of us all. The Great Annihilator. He from who has spilled the blood of creations, the ever-dying one. The elder god is known by many names, but all tongues know of Chthon, the one who dwells below creation. His worship is like a cancer. It only spreads and consumes. Okay, so they know what cancer is in this universe. I wonder if they can think of anything to treat it with their magics. Not yet, canonically. It's like that, there's a term for this, like, in Star Wars. Why do they call it the Millennium Falcon? Like, do they know what an actual Falcon is, or where that's name come from? So, but the fact that they're talking about cancer here means that cancer exists in this universe, and they have given it the same designation, which is interesting. So about Kernhold.
Is the ancient meeting place of the clan chiefs, and the last safe bastion in a dying land. It lies far to the northwest in a valley not yet touched by the deepening cold. I have a sigil which will grant you entry into Freyo Valley. The door is hidden, but my sigil will reveal the way. The icebound passage beyond is treacherous, but if you are as capable as the battle with Garmir has shown, then it should be a trifling matter. Traverse the passage and travel north through the valley. Kernhold will be impossible to miss. Once there, present my sigil to the guards and ask to speak to the High Chieftain. Tell them Ulfgarn sent you, and maybe your head will remain on your shoulders long enough to speak.
Alrighty then. I mean, if they're all as friendly as you, I'm sure it'll be fine. Mark of Passage. Stone rune marking the bearer as friend to the Karn, granting passage to Frail Valley. Oh, it's time for us to trespass. Oh boy, it might be time to move some of this stuff if I don't, like, make my way back to, somewhere where I can access the stash.
You've returned. Is this matter not of importance to your people as well?
Well, let's see what else you have to say about this.
Sigil in hand, head northwest until you reach the mountain's edge. The way down into the valley is hidden, but my sigil will light your path. The icebound passage lies beyond. It is not a route taken lightly, even by seasoned Karn, so be on your guard. Past it, you will enter Frail Valley. Head north until you have reached the gates of Kernhold.
Alright. Well, let's ask some more questions, why don't we? Yada. Why did you with the scouts? Oh, okay. Okay, it already said this, so we're just repeating that. Why is reaching your people so difficult? Okay. Lifetimes ago, Karn fought the Sons of Eru, invaders from across the sea, who came here fleeing some great evil that consumed their homeland. They turned a blind eye as they conquered all lands along the coast. Eventually, though, they pushed inland and Karn did not yield, so a long and bitter war began that brought both peoples to the brink of destruction. The land still reels from the dark and desperate deeds of that age. Since then, an uncertain truce has endured, but each side is wary of the other. Ireland builds walls to fend off Karn raiding parties, and Karn raid to stop Ireland's settlements from appearing along our borders like mushrooms after a rain. The unforgiving landscape and beasts that would tear you apart in a heartbeat also play their parts. Oh, what else? Oh, do I need to go again? Okay, I think I'm already talking about everything that we're going to talk about. So we need to go this way, I guess. Just keep going over here. Now that we have the... Oh god. This weird map thing. It's done this before. It's not a quirk of the engine, I guess, but sometimes it just like arbitrarily... like places these big chunks of blackness in the map out of nowhere, even though it covers areas that we've already actually explored. But yeah, I guess we have to go back to the northwest and we'll find a passageway that would have been, you know, impassable without the key item that we just got. But before we do that and go there, it's a little jackrabbit, isn't it? Rabbit, okay, literally. Shall we? Collect a little wild animal particle things that you can see in Age of Mythology too, even the ones that are just for flavor. Okay, well, yeah, right. I'm gonna be brutish about it, I guess, and leave these big chunks of dark map here and there. This one I suppose I probably shouldn't, because, you know, it feels like small enough that it would be... I mean, maybe it'll be left right away. I can't, like, easily access whatever's immediately south of here. But I can, so that's nice. Yeah, I keep talking about Age of Mythology as, like, the big thing that everything about the aesthetics of these expansions remind me of, but I suppose, for a lot of people, the obvious parallel would also be, you know, the same thing that I already brought up earlier, which was Diablo 2. As I'm sure everybody knows in the Lord of Destruction expansion for that game. Which there's no reason to play that game today without that. It does start you off in a place just like this, I'm pretty sure. Spooky. Oh hey, there are new shrines here. Let's go ahead and deal with this. There we go. I'm actually not too sure like where I'm gonna put those the rest of these motion points. I should probably figure it out now though. I think the motion point bonuses are usually a bit more like immediate benefits compared to some of the other ones. Well, that would take some checking, which would take a moment, which would interrupt the flow. We wouldn't want that, would we? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll do that, but suppose right now all my concentration is in trying to get rid of all the fog of war in this map as possible. It looks like there's a face in the map. Right now, we already got big, kind of gape, Edward Monk scream kind of face over there, but I think the most possible way, the most eloquent possible way that I could have put it. I like that I do that on purpose though, because it does seem like sometimes it's almost impossible not to, you know, succumb to the pareidolia, and I feel like that is 100% the face. We will clear out this last chunk of blackness here in just a moment. At first, let's complete this quest, I guess.
Yourself out there, lowlander.
I guess we're not going to leave any of these feathers in my inventory after all. We do have the feathers, yes. They're just what Nocken needs. Thank you, Lowlander. Lowlander. With me told, I thought asking you was a futile effort, but you came through for us. I do not have much on me in the way of fangs, but perhaps this herb will come of use to you. A frozen aster is a rare sight among these peaks, but it is highly potent. May Amatok look kindly upon your generosity, Lowlander. Travel safe. Hope Nocken makes it. Oh, hey, Nocken, did you see what I did?
It's an honor, Lowlander.
It's an honor. I was talking shit about you literally the first time we met, but now everything's changed. Well, just pretend it's as smooth as I'm hoping you'll help create the illusion that it was. Anyway, last time I got my hands on a rock feather and nearly got frostbite, but I trust Alien in this one. Alright. What about you?
Honor, lowlander.
Okay, now we are honored. I'll bind Nocken's wounds and we'll make our way to safety together. Do you require an escort? I can take it from here. Slash Nocken can move on his own. I can keep him safe. Alright, cool. I mean, we haven't unlocked any of the big rifts near the, wherever the Kern headquarters is, so even if they said yes, help us out, it's not like we can really do much. Except just be like, hey, yeah, just, I don't know, walk behind me and I'll just kill everything on the way. Alright, that will be satisfactory. I suppose for map unveiling. Definitely gonna have to spend a little bit more time going back to do that later, but you know. Right now, let's see, I guess my current mission will be, if I can just make it to Kernhold, I will probably be satisfied. Because yeah, okay, it's a big dark chunk here. I think I'll just leave it as it is right now. I already turned that stone. Let's see, in order to make it back to the border of this place, northwest, I think any of these paths will probably be fine. Oh, or maybe not. Sometimes they will be blocked off like that. And they'll be by one of those black rocks that only appear like in a specific place each session, like RNG. Determined. There's their nature. I feel maybe we will do some more of that map uncovering after all. Seems kind of inevitable at this point. I saw another one of the Castoran forts over here, but I guess not. Beaver fortresses. Sticks. Oh, here's one. I suppose I just manifested that in a way. And let's at least travel along the perimeter. I suppose make it less of an area to cover at the very least. What do you have here? The Wanderer. Also, like, missing some of these lore notes, I guess, by not, not exploring every inch of this place as thoroughly as we could, but I think we already got, like on it. Get to me. Sorry, I need to take a drink. Give me just a moment. Seems like a good time to... Actually, it's better if I just do it like this. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. But hopefully that did the trick. Just mute myself for a moment so I can pour the soda that I had ready into the cup full of ice that I had ready. And shit. I was doing so good about, you know, blindly hitting the M key without hitting any of the other keys. Then that happened. Which I probably, you know, should have been doing that for a while, taking sips every so often, but I was holding off on that because I did brush my teeth right before I started the stream. It seemed like the appropriate time. And I could have just drunk some water. I do have some water on standby as far as, or as well as the soda that I've just tapped into, gotten into, but yeah, I was gonna say it might be a little bit more of a hassle to reach for that. It's kind of a hassle for me to reach for anything right now because of how a setup. I'm just kind of boxed in behind the microphone, but it only takes a moment to like deal with that. I suppose it's not really a problem per se. Yeah, look at that. It looks like we've covered pretty much all the map that we can in this area. So let's leave. Let's immediately say our work here is done. We get more scrap. I don't even know what we're do we really need scrap right now. I think the only real reason we might need materials like that is if we're gonna like have a big gamble trying to do crafting and transmutation as a way to cure some of the last last few items that I need in order to complete my endgame set, but I'm sure like my ideal the ideal endgame set that I've seen for this build is technically not even achievable until I go to another difficulty, because one of the items that it calls for would be a unique item that, in order to have the best stats possible, you would have to get it in ultimate. Practically, that's how some of the unique items work. You can always find them in a particular place, but they have unique or different stats rather. I mean, they do have unique stats, but they have different stats depending on which difficulty you're on when you get them. And predictably enough, the ultimate difficulty, which seems to be the highest one right now, I would say actually, but I think there might actually be a new difficulty associated with this expansion called Ascended. I'm not sure what the deal is with that one yet. I'm pretty sure it's just not a thing yet. And I might actually also have some additional Chivos and stuff related to it. I haven't not looked because something that I noticed though is that I'm pretty sure that at least on Steam the achievements that are locked behind the Asterkarn content actually got added to the game. Like the game's, I guess, library profile before that expansion, you know, this expansion actually released. So you can just kind of go through them and kind of get spoiled on a few things just based on what the names are. But I'm not really any kind of attempt to dissect that in detail. But what that also means is that I wouldn't really be able to tell you if there's like gonna be any new achievements associated to the, I guess, what would be the new difficulty mode. I mean, that's a thing. And we can have little assumptions here that I don't have any way to confirm yet. I think I'm on the right track. But there might be some stuff like that, because like even before this came out, there's like achievements are like do this difficult thing or face this difficult boss on a hardcore character and ultimate difficulty, like still in the most punishing way possible. But surely by the time you get there, there's gotta be simple for you to figure out how to do things right. You're able to like get that far into the game on that difficulty, which, you know, just being able to access that difficulty means that you've beaten the game at least once. At least the base game. But surely you must know what you're doing, right? Surely you know what to do if you're faced with extenuating circumstances. Be able to keep your cool and use your keen analytical mind that you used to craft this these amazing builds directly, without just, you know, just aping them from somewhere. Who would do that? Jeez. And this passage is turned out to be a little bit longer than I was kind of expecting it to be. Maybe we're already like past the point that's only accessible if you have whatever it is that dude gave us. The stone, perhaps. I don't know. What is it actually? It is a stone, isn't it? Mark of passage, yeah, literally. A stone rune marking the bearer as a friend to the Karn, granting passage to Frail Valley. Well, Frail Valley, presumably not where we are yet. It seems like this particular bit of ground that we're standing on right now, it seems like it would be a bit of a pain to live on, as it were. Is this the end? It's not the end, okay, I was gonna say. Why was this the end? And in order to proceed, we have to like stand aloft this platform, this ramp, and because we have the magical stone, there will be like an invisible bridge that will appear in order to show us the way forward. No, I suppose we just have to keep moving forward after all. There is not much more to it than that. Oh gosh. This is like Ocarina of Time. We got this endless supply of skeletons, come on. Or maybe it's like the Judge Dredd comics where Milwaukee is haunted, and if you go to Milwaukee at night, you'll see like the fun fair come alive. A passage opens and live nearby. Oh really? Oh wait, you mean this one? Did I miss it? Did I happen to really? But no, it's this must be the passage. That's only holy shit, okay, I was gonna say, it's only gonna open up if you have the magical stone with you. Do we still have that stone, actually? Nope, it's gone now. Okay, so it has served its purpose, I suppose. And we get a new rift, which is nice. Let's immediately... Actually, before we go into the Icebound badges, let's take advantage of the fact that we have this and pop back over to Fort Icon real quick. For no other reason that this is the closest place. Did we already send back the scouts? I wonder if these guys have anything to say. Hey, dude.
I was expecting grim tidings when I asked you to search for the other scouts, but you pulled through. We will mourn those lost and give what aid we can to the survivors. They owe their lives to you. The corrupted beast is another matter entirely. Did you learn of its origins? Were the Karn behind it?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be so judgy with the Karn, it turns out.
How can you be certain? They are practitioners of vile magics, fueled by their heathen worship. It would not be beyond them to twist a beast so.
Oh, that means this was performative.
That is unexpected. I would be careful. They may be playing tricks in an effort to gain entry to the fort.
I guess I'll be the judge of that. I will do the judging from now on. Are these scouts? Yeah, okay. To get this leg looked at by a medic, which I have not done in this whole time. Alright, let's see, let me just... Yeah, all this crap I'm pretty sure talking about, yep. What else? Going to... See if we can learn anything from that, and we can, and yeah, these lore notes are piling up a bit. I would assume that this stuff, Bloodbound Totem and Rhyme, whatever, that and Rhyme Flower or whatever it's called. Frozen Aster, okay. Where did I get Rhyme Flower from? Is that like Zelda or somewhere else? I don't know. So these are all gonna be like, you know, materials like the other ones I get introduced by the other expansions, like, you know, Wendigo Spirit, we have 6 of the Ethereal Missive, we have 10, we have, the Celestial Lotus, we have, Poison Gland, okay. We have these useless quest items, like over here we have, the Venom Gaze of Bile and the Leaf Mane of Horn, which could have been joined by the Feather of the Rock, but whatever. As you can kind of tell by the way this is all assembled at the bottom here. One thing I did immediately notice when I came to the stash after updating the new expansion is that I guess they added an extra row at the bottom of the stash screens, which is nice. I also got a second copy of one of the lore notes from Forgotten Gods Challenge Dungeon, inexplicably, so that's just kind of sitting there forever now. Oh, and I also got Unlocked in Bloom at some point. Beast Hearts, and there's all these pieces of paper that we're gonna have to read at some point. But I guess that's it for now. Yeah, but it's only if you go into the item transfer stash, which it also looks different, by the way. This whole UI is also different. But if you go into one of these, it immediately shows you all of these things. So it's like, hey, look, there's new new crafting items or whatever it is down here. Soul Echo, Soul Fragment, and Ashes of Awakening. We have not encountered those, but we have encountered these. So I guess we'll find these at some point. Oh my goodness. Alright. And also these materials. Seal of Annihilation, Enchanted Earth, Ruinbound Topaz. I'm pretty sure that they're bringing, I guess, tier 3 that they should still have you out to craft. You're not going to find it on the ground. Yeah. That looks right. But anyway, that's that. We've cleared up some space in the old inventory, which is always nice. Let's pop back up here, up north, into the Asterkarn Mountains, and see what lies beyond. In the cave that's beyond that spooky gate, the ice-bound passage here. But between the snowy mountains and these ice caves, it's not hard to see. Some people would immediately be like, hey, this is just like the Diablo 2 expansion. That's where we've seen this. Well, they already brought up the word Warfrost in one of the item descriptions at least, so I can also say, hey, it's like the bits of, I would say it's like the bits of Monster Hunter World Iceborne where you actually go through ice caves, but honestly I feel like the way this looks might actually be a bit more reminiscent of the thing, not from that game, but from the Monster Hunter Rise expansion, Sunbreak. Like the cave and that like abandoned castle kingdom area. There's like an icy part of that map, I think. And that's where you fight Lunagaron, unless I'm thinking of the wrong map, but I don't even know anymore. It's been quite a while since I played that. But I think I'm right. And that's where you fight Lunagaron in an ice cave. I feel like that particular ice cave is more along what this is. Okay, what's going on with this guy? Just like swatting at the flies even after he's dead. Soon his body will also disappear. And glow a strange color as it vanishes into nothingness. But such is the way of the world. Can't really wait around to see that. It's quite an interesting track that we're hearing right now as we go through the ice cave too. I will say that, you know, after my recent playthrough of this, I've done in the last couple of weeks, getting reacquainted with all the fun things in this game, I do feel that in a way thinking more so than before that this game will probably be a strong contender for being added to the Chase VDM at some point. Definitely got enough strong tracks going for it. Maybe at this point, it would not be amiss to say that if that ever does get submitted to sample tracks, that would definitely include, you know, plenty of stuff from the base game, don't get me wrong, but it might be joined. But something from this new expansion as well. Perhaps that could be the case. Anything special? No. Okay. Let's pop that blueprint. We'll find out what the... well, at some point it like said before. My freaking thoughts are getting all jumbled up all of a sudden. At some point we will have to, you know, go through all these freaking lore notes that have been piling up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right now. I feel like that moment might have to come soon. I'll just make it my mission for now. We'll make it to this, like, home area for the current wall, whatever they call it. Try to make my way over there. That's gonna be like my primary mission for that. And if I do manage to go through that, I suppose I can call it mission accomplished, but yeah. Do that sooner than later because I am now facing the consequences of having, you know, having not been able to start the stream until this time, quite late. Maybe yawny. I'm currently, you know, I do have perennial sleep cycle problems. Could be another time in another cycle when I could be just waking up around this time. But this is not one of those cycles, it's actually one of the much healthier ones, which means that I'm liable to get a bit eepy if I keep going for much longer. So if I can muster up the forces to at least go through the get to the base part of the mission, like I said, but to do that, I'll probably see if I can immediately start winding down by sorting to reading the lore, I guess. Oh shit, and Nemesis approaches. I don't think I've had any Nemesis confrontations in this character yet, actually. What an interesting time for this to happen, too. And Nemesis is going to, like, home in on me now, or do I have to, like, oh no, wait. It's on the map. It's right there. It's Kutacabra, the Endless Menace. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been doing a whole lot of slaughtering of beasts. I don't think. This may or may not be my first time ever facing a Nemesis in any character in this game at any occasion, but certainly on this character. Let me deal with these guys. I don't want to run away from the Nemesis, actually. Let us see. Let's take a step back. Surely only good things can come from taking on such a fearsome foe as the Nemesis. Well, it's not like the Nemesis that chased Jill Valentine. Certainly fine. There he is. It's the same fucking dude that we killed with a plot. It looks that way anyway. Yeah, I know this guy is like just barely more than 1 million health, which is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot, but it's, we are perfectly equipped to deal with that, I think. Well, we have taken on foes that have quite a bit more health than that, but he seems like this guy's also quite adept at healing, based on what I see. To really one-up the healer. Oh, what the fuck? He just split into 3-2. Okay, that I was not expecting. Could have covered the enduring, and also could have covered the enduring. Oh shit, oh god, oh. Fuck, okay, never mind, I died. That's a bit of a sudden development. Ugh. We, like, challenge the Nemesis again? I hope that's the case. That can happen very quickly. Let's see, I probably should have made an extra rift before I went out to fight that thing. But it should just be a matter of walking through these maps again. We've already cleared it out. So I will. I will be sure to make that extra rift when we get closer again. So please bear with me for a moment. And here we are. I'm gonna make a rift right here in case we get like rushed. As soon as we step over. Alright, so the Nemesis is still there, but it looks like I don't want to get in the rift right now. I want to re-challenge this fellow, which, well, these two fellows, I suppose. Oh, and now it's Kutacabra the Tenacious, okay. That's a whole gimmick. Oh dear lord, okay. That, oh Jesus, okay. Okay, I suppose we're gonna have to get my distance in a way. Okay, one of them died. Matter of killing the rest of them now. Those multiplying did also multiply their damage output, but we did it. Nemesis drove. I didn't do it flawlessly, but we did it well enough. Medical Blade Fury. Yes, it's getting sold. I think there's anything too special about it. Medical Color Deception. This is purple, so it's getting stored. It's getting learned. Mythical Food Pattern of the Grey Magi. Mythical Sanguineous Crest. I mean, everything's mythical after you go past a certain level. And I'll have some of that experience back. Thank you very much. You lose when you die. Right? Successful Nemesis kill, I suppose. The Beast Nemesis. Perfect, but ultimately successful. So whenever you face another nemesis, if I ever do face another nemesis for a different faction, I'll be sure to operate under that assumption of keep your distance. So you never know when it's gonna pull a fucking fire jet situation. Oh jeez, look at all that. I'm gonna get around this fighting by summoning the fucking vines to lash at these dudes. The distance, get cheap shots in. That seems like a smart play at this time, you know. Someone left a friggin' note block here. What are these things? The ones that are not the animals. What are they? White Frostbreaker and rhyme something. Oh well. Vich. I'm just whites that are not Frostbreakers, I guess. Death Beast. What are they? Ghosts? Are they spooky, vengeful, humanoid spirits? Could it be something like that? That's what whites are supposed to be. Mythology-wise. At least such is my belief. Yeah, what's over there? Oh boy, we got quite a few other things to deal with. It looks like before we can leave this place. Even if I do feel like it would be better for us to just kind of try and beeline it to the exit at this point. I feel like if I have to go much longer, it might get me to the point where I am spouting incoherencies. And just, it's kind of hazardous in a few different ways. But let's hope it doesn't quite get to that point. We can make it. Or a destination. Hey sir, Mr. Diamine Icebreaker, can you please tell me why you're not taking your designated dose of punishment? There we go. Cave entrance. Yeah, we're gonna leave this a little bit unexplored, but I'm sure we come back. Oh, here we are at Frail Valley. There's a elk. I guess we'll leave that guy alone because we're not having to being any AoE nonsense that can instantly kill the wild animals. Yeah, no shit, fake. I didn't notice. Oh, and another rift already. Well, if you take a step back from whatever rift this is, the Frail Valley Rift. Oh boy, we got another little bit of land to traverse before we make it to Cornhold or whatever it is. Kernhold, yeah. Kernhold. City of Light, City of Magic. Whatever the word that. Flutter boy. Hey, where are you, Mulder? I got enough trouble as it is. I can't read more than one line. Okay, well, what is this guy's deal? Why is it so cold around you? Notice, have you? I'll have you know it's a curse. It's called leaving the door open. It was my wife, Lenarith, well, ex-wife now. Ex-wife because I am a widower, or I wonder. Neither of us wanted a marriage, but it was arranged by our parents. Lenarith always seemed a bit unstable, but my family was poor. And my father believed marriage would do me good, shows what he knew. I figured we would not be a match, but I never took her for a hag. Well, after our wedding, she bewitched my dog into a deer and chased him away. Well, that's not good. When I insisted, she turned him back. She became violent and stormed out into a blizzard. One of the worst storms I've seen in years. I can still hear her chilling words carried upon the wind. May you be forever lost in the cold and dark. So she's like reverse Yuki on that. I'm gonna help you do it. I'm going to accept this curse. Would be with me forever. I know Lenarith now. Lives in Kernhold, but I can't... Now lives in Kernhold, but I can't even get near the beloved city without my hands turned to ice. Please speak to her on my behalf. I doubt she even remembers me anymore. Maybe she will take mercy and remove this dreaded curse. Alright. I'll do it in just a moment, but first I'll agree to do that. I'm gonna see what the other dialogue options lead to. What the gods, do you often just go to people's homes uninvited and ask how the day was? Yes. This is, perks of the trade. You're not from these parts, are you? I'm sure you're wondering about the cold. I know it's not my personality. I've been dealing with this dreaded curse for years now. Okay, I didn't have to get that story. Sure. You asked. I'm just telling you what happened. Well, not your will.
What are you doing in my house?
I agree to help. Lenarith is in Kernhold. We'll look for her, sure, but first we need to get over there. It might be a little complicated, depending on how things go, but we'll follow the road. That's usually the Asterkarn giant. That's usually the simplest way, right? My goodness. We got Grobles over here in Asterkarn as well. Along with these this motherfucker. Right? I hate these freaking healers. They decide to spam shit. Need to be the Groble priests or the skeleton priests that just show up in the Arcodian dungeon. Like, why the fuck is this massive health enemy not dying? I'm throwing everything possible. Wait, okay, I'm just joking off. Jokers. Freaking thing on the ground, but I also got drying ghouls, none of the ghouls. It seems just a wee bit inhospitable, owing to all the monster encampments that I guess just exist out here. Openly hostile to humans and presumably other travelers as well. Unusual ledger, oh, that's a quest item I expect. Oh shit, okay, wait, what? Oh, that's how you look at this. I had no idea that's what that button did. I was actually wondering how you were supposed to look at the achievements in game the other day. I really could not figure out how to access that, but I guess you just gotta find the right button. But no, this is what I wanted to press so I could look at my inventory. Unusual ledger. A ledger. Wait, that scares a fucking star. It's probably gonna die in a couple of hits. Probably, but that just means it'll take a couple more. So this thing, a ledger of weapons and other metal implements indicating that they were originally bound for Kernhold. Definitely not something that would typically be found among Groble belongings, so I'm gonna put this on the old quest items bag. I'm sure it will all make sense eventually. There's someone up here, is there? What is the deal? Oh boy. Another Sabi from the captors. Tried to eat me. Junest. Thanks for getting me out of that cage. Every day you run into a lowlander, much less one saving your life. I suppose you'd be willing to lend me a hand one more time, but what else is there? I'm a courier. I was making my way out of Kernhold to deliver a crate of weapons to a settlement down south. You've probably never heard of it being an Aurelian, but it's an important hoarder town. Trouble started almost immediately when I ran into a bag of Grobles. Hunger was no big deal. Then they usually scatter as soon as you pick one off, but I wasn't prepared for the larger ambush standard. Little thieves made off into my delivery and locked me in here without knowing what reason. I'm keeping my meat fresh for later, that is until you happen along, and beach will be returned to Carnhold and calling it a loss. But if you were to recover the crate for me, I'll pay you a finder's fee. Are you smuggling weapons to the Grobles? I guess that's available accusations from a lowlander, but I need to talk about it in Carnhold after you get a crate. Alright. What could possibly go wrong after all? The bastards stole their loot all over the place. Check all the surrounding camps, try to be in one of them. Well, I don't know if we're gonna find that with any kind of ease right now. But just continue to follow the road. Which actually does get a little bit harder to see as well. Oh shit. I would not have an ending supply of killer beavers with tools and spears, but it looks a bit. They're ambushing kill me. Thank you very much. I feel like there's a continuation of the that I was here. I was taking, but I didn't see it anymore, but now when I squint, I kind of can't see it. That's usually a problem with places that these remote mountain roads, or I guess valley roads in this case. Just look obvious. Anyway, even the wall breaker. I guess I'll stop you. I'm just like rushing for everything right now. Make it a rush, but I probably shouldn't be, but you know. Fortunately these are bizarre times. I feel like I can feel my thoughts eroding as my sleepiness takes hold. And owing to this circumstance, I do consider it necessary and important to be able to reach our destination in a timely manner. So once we get there, I'll be able to put my thoughts in order. Right. I shouldn't say no to an encounter with a starred guy, even if it's just random dude Arctic. Come on. I'm thinking also healing that looks of it. What's that? You know, this is technically still normal / veteran difficulties, so turns out there are like bizarre mystical clauses that say that all boss enemies can regain their health by hitting me, then I'm going to be rather cross, I think. Drunkard's health. Oh, okay, this looks different. Order Cagnar. And here's an insult. You stand at the gates of Cornhold. Hey, we finally made it. You don't want us in here though, but as it happens, I want to enter. Just close to your tongue, Bergolian. Considers this your first and last warning, will I do have Olga and Sigil? I know you did not murder him for the honor, eh? Well, you'll just have to trust me. Trust is officially earned here, but you bear the mark so you may enter. I'll warn you though, should anyone within these walls come to harm by your end, the rocks will begin your bones open on the side. I don't slide. Well, I'm sure. And here we are at Carnival finally. Quickly by Wayfinder Rothgar as well. Just you head right back to that southern gate and back where it came from the wall. Oh yeah, I never finished that story about come to think of it. Like what the deal is with the Judge Dredd comic where Milwaukee is like a ghost town, but well, I'm sure you can find that easily enough.
Should not be here, Lowlander.
Also, the anniversary record, right? Never mind. Also, nothing that I match up quite well with what the dialogue box says. Sure.
What a treat.
Nothing similar in here. I need to speak with your High Chieftain. I also need a rift. No bad trouble then. Keep leading up to the top. You can't miss the chieftain's hut. Alright, what are you doing? Admiring the snow melt should be a great season of fishing. What do you catch? Small red belly, trout mostly, steel fin if I'm lucky. And it doesn't tear through the line. Oh my goodness, but yeah, can we please have Rift? Okay, well, there's so many more of these. Or just shit, I'm sure that'll be good reading. So many more of these notes, just...
Should not be.
Inner path, moral. Can't believe they're all gone, what happened? My nephew Desmere disappeared, taken by the blood... No, bloodbound, no doubt. My sister, the fool, went after them into the dread wastes. Lost my entire family. Well, I'm sure they're okay. We're gonna put our comforting ability to the test.
What are you bothering me
Hey,
for,
Lenarith.
Lowlander?
Here's the one that will put the curse on the other guy, apparently. Do you know a man named Mulderf? What about him? What do you say? Well, as for this guy, can you tell me a little bit between you two? Well, he's scum through and through. Mulder was only ever interested in governing wealth, especially if he didn't have to work for it. His proudest moment was convincing my wealthy family he would be a fitting match for me. Tell what kind of man he was the moment we met, but he listened to my objections after we were wed. Oh, listened to my objections after we were wed. He would lock me in the cabin while he went off to blow the dowry on meat and betting on bones. If I tried to break out, he would let out sometimes violently. He would make wild accusations. Whenever anything went wrong in his life, he would blame me. One chilly winter's night, I had enough. He grabbed a knife and rammed it into his thigh. I think that's currently the problem. While he screamed after me, I grabbed his keys and fled into a blizzard. I limited Colonel alive. Haven't seen a matter of since. I'd assumed the gate. No, he got lost in the storm or decided that wasn't worth the trouble anymore. Then I heard stories about the curse that I could not stop smiling. Oh shit, okay. You did not curse him? Well, no, wouldn't know. Here's the thing about it. My grandmother Crin, though, she's a mystic and a bit unhinged, if I'm being honest. You might know more. Then we were so interested in Malderfell. My grandmother lives alone on the outskirts of Kernhold. I put no past the eastern gates. Won't be able to get there though without the High Chieftain's blessing. Right. Feels oddly similar to something I was discussing recently, but I am absolutely blanking as to what specifically. And also, Grimmest. Many people to talk to. You're just funny, well, right back at you. I'll just not talk to you. Doesn't it look familiar?
Leave us alone.
That looked familiar, but you know what would look very familiar and very welcome right now? This. Not Morhold. Maybe Morhold is a bit too familiar, but no. Can't do on the table until I respect it, which is how it works. Someday I want to join the borders like Medea. Oh, let's stop it for a moment when this gets unstuck. Okay. Again? Hold on.
I'm watching you.
I'm watching you. I wonder who did those recordings.
Keep it civil.
Keep it civil. Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
Oh, there you go. Welcome to Karnold. The Hammer of Baan is always by my side. If all there was of Cornhold, I won't have to introduce you. Right. What about you, Shald? A Ice Princess,
An
isn't it?
outsider.
That's a name. In Lost Lowlander, well. Reach a high chieftain, you must pass through a tower and take the stairs up to the tallest point in Cornhold. It's heavily guarded, but it will be granted entry.
An outsider.
You need older in these parts. Turn back and look at the cliffside.
Oh,
Right.
an outsider.
Which direction do you think they came from? Because apparently there's multiple, but I only found one. Or someone of human size. Is there much in time? I feel like I've already getting to the point where I'm starting to spot incoherencies and this needs to come to a stop. Colonel is a rich mix of traders and merchants visiting from all the lands. Head east. And take the stairs up and look for the bazaar. Alright.
An outsider.
Olden Skull is to be a retainer of knowledge for generations to come. A minister of information, if you will. Alrighty then. Hope you have fun with that. I'm going to pop back over here. I already did rifts. I think, yeah, we're gonna be bringing this to a close real soon. Not like in the next several minutes, because we'll be getting beaten out by the Eeps. That much I can tell you. We do have a whole pile up of lore notes though. That's, I guess the first one that we found would have been this one. At least take a look at this one. How much experience do we get from that? Just 750. Current opportunity, part 1. This neatly folded note bears the crest of Fort Icon in its top left corner. Breck, the boys stationed in the Asterkarn route, tell me they've spotted something mighty nice. There's a clear Cairn burial ground not too far from the fort. If we hurry, we can be up there and back before our shift on the... What? For our shift on the wall? Which wall? And I thought that was like before a shift is on the wall. What does that mean? Stupid savages don't bury valuables when they're dead. You just leave them in mounds where any sucker to come and build where it will be easy. Here's the plan. Before dawn we meet at the western gates. Alfred Lockdown has split the spoils if he lets us through without a peep. Then we make our way up the mountain under the cover of dark. Lead us to the site. And we grab what we can get. We get out before the barbarians even get a whiff of our assholes. Just know it's my plan. I brought luck. Yeah, that'll say luck. I know where the goods are. I just need your help carry the whole. Suddenly you're thinking you're certainly the brains of the operation and get an even cut. The split is 7 of every 10 for me. Part 2 to this. Reynard's notes. This is opportunity. Yep, current opportunity part 2. Hold on. What is stained with bloody fingerprints? No one has ever asked, and I have never said. Now that your guts adorn the snow, I feel it only fitting, you know why. I am half Kern, you slit piss drinker. Well, Breck, son of Yolith, who died giving me life breath. My father, Markor, was never welcome among the people of Asterkarn. My mother's passing extinguished. What little grace he had with them, so we came to live in his homeland. I never learned the ways of my mother's people, but my father always spoke of them with great reverence and respect. I've walked these hills many times, met the people of these lands. They are harsh and unforgiving, bearing grudges older than any living man, but they have come to recognize kin within me and welcome me beside their hearths. It is my eyes, you see. They carry the sorrows of this land in ways only a Kern may recognize. I've traveled beyond the highlands and witnessed the beauty of the valley below, and I have seen the halls of Kernhold and drank deep of Kern mead. Well, we haven't gone to do that yet. While a part of me wishes to spend a lifetime here learning their ways, I did not grow up Kern and still feel my Aurelian blood calling me home. It's not where I belong. I did learn a few things though. For one, Kern burial rites are an important reminder of what was lost. They call them scars because every hurt and loss brings healing. It leaves them tougher, stronger. Their belongings are left behind for what their successors to bring newfound glory to old tools and weapons, not to be pilfered by rats. You should pray that the current ways do not apply to you in their lands, left to rot in the snow as you are. Alone and forgotten, if you believe the myths, yours will be a fate worse than death. I'm sure. Not sure even you deserve such an end, but it seems fitting reward for the hate and vitriol you have shown for the people you despise. You know nothing about, right? So freaking bait and switch wreck. Be like, yeah, let's fucking stick it to these idiots. Surprise, idiot. I was one of the idiots all along, and they're not idiots at all, and now I'm gonna fucking spend a couple hours yelling at you because you fell for my bait. With 3-parters, color rain, so it's horse's shit. I mean, surely we have to scout horse's shit from the ruminations of Einar the Drunken Skald. Dark road strode, high boldly, boot shoot, brisk and steady. Stallions sleeping, laying, waiting, soft and foul, stays fermenting. I don't think there's much of a meter or rhyme to this at all. Heels sank deep in horse's apples, forest green with dark brown apples. A little pepperies, I guess. There's a split evening air, full I am now standing here. That doesn't rhyme, but... Or the meats, is that like the one of the cakes? Star and flood. My god, I just feel like there's gotta be a little more. So they're going to get the one of the meats. Okay, this one's also, yeah. Also from the ruminations of Einar the Drunken Skald. From deepest bottle poured my foes their blood, from cup and tankard flows. And this one is flying a little better so far. I plot my battle plans at first. No spear or shield, I will my first. Yeah, that has a meter. Great heroes brace and stand their ground, but one by one I drink them down. I find myself at battle's end, lying on the ground. Okay. What meter says like da, 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 da. I think that's iambic tetrameter, or at least each and every one of these lines, except for the last one, is that it just breaks at the end. That was almost fully consistent with there. I do have to wonder, I suppose. One thing I want to check out is... Here in Kernhole, there's plenty of people, but is there also like, well, there's a bounty table, presumably for when we get really friendly with these guys and they offer us bounties, but... Okay, this is what I was wondering about. Is there a stash that I can access? Is there some place where I can sell stuff? Right now, let me just go ahead and put this in the purple collection. But these two we are going to sell, and I think with that, we'll only do a handful of these. Handful of these quests. So right now we presumably just, well, no, are we friendly? No, we're still just tolerated with the current. We have 304 instead of just 300, which is a little surprising considering that the only other way we're gonna be getting this rep is by killing Bloodbound, which, fuck, I don't know. Oh, I just noticed there's another fucking note on the corner of the screen on the ground. I might as well grab that. I can also, are you the apothecary whose journal that was? Might as well accept this quest while we're here. Herb Tender and Navella. Herbs and poultices for sale. Treasure wards, spoils, and relationships. Do you have somebody that would help in battle? Of course. You young ones are always out there seeking conflict and in ways to mitigate its dangers or undo its harms. Ah, you silly bitches. But yeah. Yes, old Navella has just a thing for you. What can you do for me? Oh boy, almost anything if you carry the right formulas. Not be formulae. Well, even the flask can make a world of difference in the final product. Alchemy is a wondrous art with nigh limitless potential. One must get creative and willing to experiment. Do you wish to try? Just tell me what the one mixed inside the golden. Okay, this would be interesting because it's kind of interesting to be just one of the new like item modification mechanics in this expansion. What about relationships though? Might as well learn about that. You'll be surprised by how much can be resolved by a hint of fine smelling herbs in your monthly soak. It help with someone in particular? I should not have asked. Oh, just immediately try to brush it off now. You need something else, something more potent. I'm not trading snake oil. Pick it up my cauldron and I can create something else for you. Almost anything, yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can follow a different these ships earlier. Okay. Let's go with this. Something mixed in the cauldron, I don't know. Wondrous elixirs. Just talking to her is what I need to do, I guess.
I have a solve for that.
Experimentation is its own, rewards other combinations or formula. Many techniques to brewing potions, some of them lost to the ages, others just awaiting discovery in the old places of the world. Explore a bit of Asterkarn, see what you can uncover. Oh boy. Well, here's the alchemy cauldron, I don't know how this works. Brew concoctions within the cauldron to empower your elixir spirit and tonic of manic with unique effects. Really? Okay. Mask. Tincture. Vial. What is this now though? Restores 35 health over time. No effect here. Two uses. Oh boy. I mean, we only had one use with the average one, I thought, right? Like in a row. Just one for both of them. That always gone, but maybe we could change that. I don't know. 1 per second skill recharge. Doesn't seem like. Oh shit. I mean, is this the one we were using before, or what is the deal? Shit, I don't know. Oh shit. I mean, it looks like the same one, but this apparently doesn't. Yellow sense of chromatia. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna click any of these because I feel like if I do it, I'll be able to turn it back off. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's better to have that off. I don't know. Permanent now. Yeah, they just look like the tincture walls now. I wonder if we can take these off like at any point, or if they just permanently on, like from the first time you do this. And so chromatic skills. I don't know how to get more of these skills, but I guess that'll all be revealed to me in time. I'll bring up the quest screen real quick. I think I'm about to wrap things up here, honestly. But I hope it's daytime now, I think. Where's the quests for this expansion so far? What do you know? What would it be called? Oh, no. Homestead, no. Archwalbot, no. Cauldron Basin, no. Or Systems. Fangs of Asterkarn. Wondrous elixirs, there you go. To discover that peculiar cauldron kernhold with which you can alter the composition of your potions to maximize their potential. And I'm sure I'll learn more about that in due time, but I think right now I really do need to take a break. A little break. I mean, a break probably until I awake from the slumber, the deep slumber in which I will soon fall. Yeah. We'll leave it off there. That was my little introductory demo stream to the all-new Fangs of Asterkarn expansion, which I think I'll just keep playing on my own. It's like a few of the games that I brought to stream where I just kind of decide, hey, this seems like a good excuse to go alive for a while. Dust off the old thing and maybe hang around a bit, and it does indeed appear to have served that purpose, which is nice. But I suppose I'll go ahead and turn the old playlist back on. Oh, there we go. Oddly appropriate. In a very roundabout way, but yes. This was very much a one-shot experience, but I suppose I will immediately pop over to the Click on things. Cannot resist the temptation to click on things ever. But no, we're gonna click on a different thing. Over to the end screen here. And say my goodbyes as usual, which I will reiterate the reason which I immediately forgot, which I said was this is very much a one-shot thing. At least if you don't count the other Green Dawn stream 50 years ago, you could count this as follow-up to that. Never around what way, but anyway. And I don't think I will be streaming Grim Dawn again in the foreseeable future, anyway. But I will keep playing the expansion, of course, in my own time, but I will aim to stream again, other than like kind of impromptu stuff like the 20-minute wheel streams and all that stuff. There is sometimes, occasionally, big occasionally do, is I'll just try to resume my Heretic 2 playthrough, which I think I, did pretty much immediately after the slight fiasco of how that first stream ended. I think I did pretty much immediately proceed to get it to a point where it should be perfectly viable to just keep playing it and hopefully not run into any issues of great consideration. So hopefully go back to that and finally have that entire franchise pretty much under my belt for having streamed it and also having played it. Because I certainly have never played Heretic 2 before on my own time, even though I've been able to for a while to theoretically do that. I have been playing a lot of old games that would have been adjacent to that on my own time, though I have been doing that. That is a long and complicated story. I'm still in the process of that, actually. If I follow my 2 playlist, well, I suppose it's been kind of interrupted by my foray into Grim Dawn at the moment, but it's very good because Grim Dawn is something I will always be happy to go back to. But if I were to follow that kind of timeline of old games with a similar theme, I have like how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Not counting Half-Life, which I've already played before. I'm about 4 games away from catching up to where I would be playing Heretic 2 according to that timeline, so not that far off at all, certainly less far off than it would have been at the time in which I did the first stream of it. But anyway, yes. Hopefully, potentially look forward to more Heretic 2 streams in the future, the foreseeable future, hopefully sometime next week. I don't know about tomorrow, but hopefully sometime next week. If I manage to, continue to not completely fuck up my sleep schedule. It actually went pretty well today, considering that Thursdays are usually a prime opportunity for me to fuck that up, considering that that's when I have to get up earlier than usual, and sometimes I end up pretty much losing all my sleep. But it actually went quite well this time, relatively speaking, because that didn't happen. But yeah, I suppose we'll see if that extends to the remainder of the week at least. But not just the couple of days that are left in this week, but also whatever happens throughout next week as well. But anyway, getting ahead of myself. Look forward to hopefully having more of that is my main point. But anyway, that having been said, I will say what I always say, which is you'll take it easy. Thanks to anyone who happens to tune in at this stream at any point in the future, present, not really past, because that would be pretty impressive. I think I would have different words for anyone who wants to do that. But yeah. Be sure to check out that other playthrough that probably will proceed, as well as the rest of my Heretic Hexen playthrough stuff, which should be in the same VOD channel that I will be putting that on, and all the other stuff that I played, etc., etc. I think right now I'm gonna toss a raid to someone that is live, I don't think. Ugh. Okay, Twitch is having a Twitch moment. Stream was working fine for a moment and then decided to... Okay, never mind. Completely freaking reload the page to get it to look right, but anyway. I'm gonna do a quick raid to see if this works. Yeah. Luna, Ray, I don't know. I always see that spelling and say Ray, but I suppose it's probably just me. Who is a very cool person who I've been watching for a couple of years now, I want to say. Very friendly, very personable, very welcoming, and somewhat unusually for me rating someone. She's currently playing Pokemon, but I ain't even mad because it seems like a good opportunity just what she's streaming, so well, at least it is technically you might say one of the generations that I'm not entirely unfamiliar with, so there's that. Take that for what you will. I'm not even sure that these words that I'm saying are even going to be heard by anyone for whom this any of this is going to make sense, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with that. So I will cease my yammering because it's only gonna get worse from here on if I just keep doing it thoughtlessly, and say that I will see you later.